Welcome back to the Killerball Challenge, boyos. The challenge in which we will play all 43 killers in no particular order, and our goal is to capture as many unique survivors as we can. That way, we can complete our survivor decks. Last time we played with the unknown, had a good match. We end up using our first smoke bomb of the challenge with the dredge, and we got some good captures. We ended up having a 4K in both games, and we finished with a unique capture counter of 26 and 22 duplicates. Let's see if we can keep the streak going. Now, this time, we're back with the challenge and we're trying the Spirit and the Oni. First off, we're gonna start with the Spirit, which I'm not really the best at using it. Normally, I don't play her because I don't like to play with my game volume super high, and I need to turn it up a bunch in order to play her correctly. So let's see if I can perform at a good level. All right, we have a good map maybe for one of our perks for Spirit Fury. Since this map has a lot of palettes, right off the bat, I find my first survivor after a phase. It's a Lara, which is a survivor we already have, but I already have my goal for this game, and it's to get this Vittorio. So any chance I get to find him and hit him, I'm gonna take it probably. We actually found a Vittorio in a game prior, and he got away, sadly. So this is our chance for revenge, which is weird since it was actually in this same map in which we got our first Vittorio that ran away. And in this part, I realized that I'm really used to playing 4.6 killers, and the less speed on the Spirit ended up costing me. Vittorio didn't got away really far, and I'm using all the power of my headphones to track him down, all the sound. I got to the TTTV room and found Lara Croft, and she's running me in this loop, which I don't really like. If you play this map, you know this mannequin leg that always ends up blocking my movement. It goes further than I think. And again, I'm using all the sound to track this Lara so that she doesn't run away. They finished the first gen, and over here I use another of my perks with Rancor. I realized that a survivor was rotating for the unhook this detective tap, which I'm surprised in this part of the challenge is already a duplicate. I was expecting to find none of them, and this is the second time I faced one. I already captured one in I believe it was the Alien game. Over here, the tap makes a good play by dropping to the other floor. But after I hook him, I'm right back here with the Vittorio. I told you I'm gonna get behind this Vittorio every chance I get. And I realized he wasn't leaving any scratch marks before, maybe a perk. And as I'm chasing him, I can hear the Lara that is wounded and working on a gen next to the stairs. So I see the Vittorio is going upstairs, and I make a little play by misguiding the survivors, making them think I was chasing the Vittorio, but ended up going for the Lara instead. Nice blind. At least he tried. Up next, I go to the bathroom gen and I find the Michaela, which he was almost done with the gen. A few fractions of a second earlier, and I might have gotten a grab. Here I do a double back in the window, find her rotating. So I'm feeling a little confident in this game, I won't lie. My chases have not been super long, but over here I make my mistake. I ended up overextending to this gen, and they finished the bathroom gen while I was away, which is really close to my hook survivor, so I'm not gonna get a 1-for-1 after the unhook. And it seems to me like I'm playing at the good guy killer challenge because I got 4 hook stages at 3 gens left, but they are all spread amongst all survivors. That was not intentional, but as I've said before, I tend to just follow the chases I can get. Here again, the 4.4 speed betrays me. Otherwise, I might have gotten the hit on the Lara. And here they finish one of my totems. And sadly, I don't get a healthy survivor to the exposed. But this Michaela is going to pay for that. She doesn't know it yet. Here I got jump scared by the Lara. I wasn't expecting her to be there. So when he used the dead heart, I wasn't planning on doing a hit. And I'm carrying her to the upstairs hook, and I realize that the scratch marks are pretty far away from the hook, and Michaela doesn't have much time on the hook left. So maybe they can get her, but as they finish the gen, I realized that that was a few meters short. And I'm still thinking about why they didn't go for the Michaela. Maybe they were too scared about the exposed effect of Haunted Grounds. Who knows? But at this time, I mean, there's two gens left. Lara's on hook. I'm following the Vittorio, and he's doing the tell me you have dead heart without telling me you have dead heart challenge by looking back. But if you follow the challenge so far, you already know I respect those 100% of the time. I ended up going back to the unhook, and all of a sudden, I have massive pressure this game. All survivors are injured. Vittorio is on hook. Lara is dead on hook, so I choose to follow her instead of the tap. And I already know she has dead heart from the prior mini chase, so I just wait for it. There he goes, going for the down. They just unhook the Vittorio, and to my surprise, he runs over here and tries to go for a blind. I don't know how he got here so fast, but here you go. That's our second table candy this game. And if I were in the survivor place, I would be very worried right about now. Since two of their teamers are dead, I find the Vittorio over the CTTV room, and I already know he has the dead heart. I'm the dead heart respecter, what can I say? So with that, our objective is completed this game. We managed to do our objective. Everything else we get afterwards is just what should we call it? Conceit maybe is the right word for it. Or tap just rotates the wrong way. If it wouldn't gotten to the right, he would have gotten hatched. Breaks the pattern on my head thanks to Spirit Fury. And I'm following this tab just to get my cinematic Mori. I owe you one of those, and we're currently keeping the streak. That's 3 games in a row where we got in 4Ks. And like I said, I'm not really used to doing this well. I wasn't expecting it to do this well in this part of the challenge, especially with Spirit, since I barely use her. But maybe upping my volume is OP and needs to be nerfed. And in this endgame screen, I realized that the game could have gotten south really fast with the 3 toolboxes, hyper focus takeout in one of the survivors. And I mean, I what didn't get super gen rush this time, but maybe we can keep the streak going. We'll find out. Alrighty, Oni in the Ormond Lake Mine. Now, I have some more experience with Oni, not in the regular one before, but I played it quite a bit during the 2v8 with my co-op player. So I kind of know a little bit, but I tend to overshoot my flicks. I already got my first hit, which is good with the Oni since I have this purple atom that drops extra blood orbs. And this Renato I'm chasing, it seems a little confident. He was taunting me back there. He was emoting for me to chase him, but I decided to go after this arena instead since he was in a worse position. And I think this is a good time to mention that this survivor has 2 win conditions with the Renato and this arena. So hopefully I can get at least one of them. We're dropping Jack Paler at 5 gen. It seems we are either not caring or taking this very seriously. I already have my power. I go to the other side of the map and I find the Renato again. He's proccing his finesse, but he got zoned a little bit badly. So I insta down him with my power. So he goes straight into hook, and his gen was really high progress, and the bill was right around here to keep it going. So before I chase him, I give it a kick, so it keeps regressing while I keep this chase. And when the bill dropped this pallet, I remember this map has plenty of them from the Jason video, which I broke like 10 of them maybe. And he's crouching mid chase. I think we have a little presumptuous team of survivors right here. Let's see if they have the skills to back it up. So far, doesn't seem like it. And all of a sudden, my pressure is starting to pile up again. Two survivors on hook, one injured survivor. And just like that, it evaporates. I didn't do a good job at pressuring hook, and it's costing me right now. I still have three injured survivors that are dropping blood ores all over the map. So I still hoping I can do a good job. I could follow the Nia, but I don't really feel like it. I'd rather get these blood ores over here to proc my power again. And I thought I saw a survivor for a brief second around here, but I don't find him around this structure. Turns out he looped back around that pile of snow. The sprint burst ends up saving him right there. And if you played Killer before, sometimes you get that feeling in your gut that things are starting to go south. I get this down, and I already know the Nia with a flash like this around, so I'm kind of scared to pick him up. And I know the basement is right here in check, so I'm thinking maybe if I down the Nia right next to the bill, I can get two survivors on basement. But I see the Sarina is starting to rotate around. I'm thinking that maybe I can follow this Nia till the end of the world until this window blocks, so I can guarantee both downs. But as I turn around, I don't see her anywhere, and she's coming the other way, picking up the bill. And if in case you're wondering how this could happen, there's this time where I'm chasing this Nia around the shack, and we're probably gonna need to slow it down a bit after he pulls this second time. You see, I turn around right off the bat, and she's not there. And right around the corner, and she's not there, and she's coming the other way. This is called window tech. It's an advanced survivor technique where the killer loses his collection for a few frames after vaulting the window. So that's what she did to me. And that confuses me really hard at the time. You see, I'm struggling to find another survivor, and I see the Nia again. I have no idea where the Sarina went, where the Bill went. She vaults the window, and I don't realize it at the time, but she did it again. She does it again. And I'm still confused. I'm still tilted by the pressure I lost. I find this Bill, and you can see by his padding that he's taking the chase way more seriously right now since I left him slugged for a bit near the shack. She's pre-dropping pallets now. And at this point of the match, I'm really flustered. I'm not really sure what to do. I'm thinking, oh man, I have one gen left. I need to get this Bill in the basement as soon as possible. I'm gonna do some different plays this time, and I do a double back, which is a grave mistake since he's already going to the TNL over there, or whatever we should call it. I think it's a jungle gym. I find the Nia Jet again. She vaults the window, and this time I get a little stutter after I vault, and I realize she's been window taking me this whole time. I'm hearing some miss skill checks near the main gen, so I know they're working on it, maybe doubling, tripling the gen. And I'm following this Nia just to get the blood orbs to proc my power just right after they finish the last gen. And there's no use in following the Nia. I much rather try my luck. And it pays off. I find this arena, which is probably the most valuable survivor I can find. Sadly, she has no hook stages, and I need to do something straight away. You see the exit gate is flashing in the distance, and she goes into the locker, but I managed to hit him right in the last frames, maybe. I see that hook near Jack. I hook her there, but I end up overextending, and they get the unhook right away. And I see this arena is walking. That's not a good sign. She probably has some weird perk. And I'm thinking of swanning them over here. This arena is walking again next to me. And she doesn't think I'm counting to 15 Mississippis, but I am. You know I always do. And I end up getting a hit her near the exit gates, and I pick up right off the bat. I'm not waiting for anything since I know the Nia is trailing right behind me. And you can see she's still hovering. She's been injured the whole game. She hasn't healed, and she seems to be confident of staying injured, even though she's dropping blood. You can see she's trying to blind me after the unhook, and she's just standing there menacingly, dropping blood orbs so I can proc my power and defend this hook better. And you can see the audacity of just healing near the hook. She ends up paying the ultimate price by getting a down. I'm looking for the Renato since I know the Bill is around, and I need to make a play here. I use my power, managed to get a down, and I could make something, but the Renato uses light to get to the unhook faster. I'm tempted to follow the Sarina, but I know she has 15 seconds of endurance. She can beat me to the exit gate. And here I make another grave mistake. I should have taken the Nia back to basement, but I was thinking if I hook it straight away, I downed the Bill not too long ago, so maybe I can pick him up before they pick him up and stop not being the case. So I have this Nia with a fresh hook. They draw a pebble over there. But I mean, the good thing for me is that there are a lot of blood orbs in the vicinity, and the timer is less than half. I get my power, I see the Sarina, but the Renato seems to get scared by me proccing my power. And I'm thinking maybe I can do some crazy play by hiding my red stain. I see the Sarina, I think I already have her, but she uses Prince Burst to get away. The pile of snow stutters me a bit, and I end up just getting the hit on the Nia. So I thinking I have my power. I maybe can zone them out before they reach the exit gate. Maybe the end game timer will kill them. And this Nia is just standing here. But the timer, it has some time left, and my power is running out. And I realize that, oh no, not this again. I get the hit on this arena, and my last hope is that Bill doesn't make it to the exit gate. Nah, he makes it. He has sprint burst. For the second time in the challenge, I end up with 0 kills. And I'm guessing that's what happens when you run into competent survivors. I mean, I guess I've been lucky so far, but I got maybe a little carried away with the win streak. It ends over here. Let's see if we can make something happen next time. Bye.